Hello, hello, my beautiful Empresses. Welcome back to Embody Your Empress. If it's your first time joining us, go back. There's a few episodes to catch up on, and we are so happy to have you here. Of course, we have an amazing guest today, but before I get into that, I'm Sarah King, the founder of this podcast and Empress Nation. This is the place you want to be if you're a high achieving woman, opening up to new perspectives and learning more about who you are on a deeper level. Today, I would love to introduce our guest. Whew, I have had the pleasure of experiencing our guest magic at work firsthand. So I'm really excited to see where this conversation takes us. Stacey Nye, welcome to Embody Your Empress.
Thank you so much.
Oh
I'm
my,
looking forward to this conversation. It's going to be fun.
it is going to be fun. Last
Mm.
time we chatted, if you're watching the video, you can see like I have a lovely smile on. It's a little bit later in the day, but when we last chatted, I was feeling a little bit emotional, a little bit weighed down emotionally, and you probably picked up on that, being the person you are. And within 5 minutes, Stacey had my state completely flipped 180. I was smiling, my radiant smile, my energy levels were different. My whole being had shifted. So before we get into how that happened, how that occurred, Stacey, would you love to share with us who you are as a human, as a soul, and how you came to be on this journey?
Sure. Again, thank you very much. And yeah, we definitely had a lot of fun doing the work the first time we met. So yeah, how I kind of got into all of this, I was born into a very high performing family, like high performance Olympic Games stuff. And over the years, I became part of the Olympic Games. I absolutely loved my career in that. I did a career with the Olympic Games for about 25 years, and then moved into some really high international, big global events, G7s, G20s, and stuff. So I have like this Rubik's Cube mind, which is like always on the go and always thinking about how do I build, how do I create, and then kind of in my 30s, there was and this one particular evening that all hell broke loose and my life changed forever, and it really rocked my world. Um, and I found myself anxious. I found for the first time in my life, I found myself nervous and afraid of going outside, even though I did, and I still ran my business, and I had a big business, and responsibilities were huge and all of these kinds of things. But um, I really was from that generation X of, suck it up, cupcake, and put a smile on your face and let's go. We got shit to do. So that was me very much. Like I was very much a Nike commercial. I grew up, like I said, in an Olympic family. I grew up as a high performance athlete. So again, I had that kind of grit and never ending kind of like don't give up. You don't show your fear, you do it anyways. And then kind of about 6 years, and I wouldn't say I suffered in silence. I was just silent. I didn't talk about that night or the incident or what was going on or how many things were kind of falling apart that I was trying to hold together. And I was just private. And then 6 years into this, I I ended up getting separated from the love of my life of 20 years. And um and it was because of the night of the accident. Like the two of us came out of this night so very different. Like we went into different traumas, we dealt with it differently, and we just became very different people. So our marriage didn't survive, but it still hurt and still kind of rattled my world. And now we have a 5-year old, so it was wow, like, and the business. And so I had a lot on my plate. And I was actually in my office at the gymnastics club. I owned a gymnastics club for many, many years. um I was crying, and one of the coaches' moms, knocked on my office door, and kind of found me crying in the dark. And she was like, "Oh, sweetheart," she's like, we don't know what's going on. We know something's going on because like you're actually now trying to smile versus just you smiling a lot." And she said, "I met, I went to this like healing fair last weekend, and I ran into a guy that I went to high school with, and he's doing this wild like healing thing." And she goes, "I tried it and it's really awesome." She said, "So I hope you don't mind. I told him all about you because you're like the world's connector and knows, everybody around the world and just everything that you've done. And you see opportunity, you can make it happen and all of these things." So she said, hope you don't mind. I told him about you, and he's coming up on Friday, and I made you an appointment, and it's all paid for. Don't worry about it. But I really want you guys to meet. So the initial meeting was more about her connecting Daniel and I for business and to get this kind of rolling. Because again, she had no idea really what was going on with me. And if this particular Friday morning, I'm driving to this appointment to meet this guy. Well, and this is where it all my everything started to change. My life changed because when I walked in the door, I had hope for the first time in a really long time. I had hope. And when I opened the door, this gentleman was standing in front of me, and my first reaction, and I said it out loud, I was like, oh my gosh, you're real. Like, what? I had seen him in my visions my whole life. And
What?
I've not, yeah. So the first words I ever said to him is, oh my gosh, you're real. Like, whoa. And he recognized my energy signature too at the time. Like, I mean, we ended up having many conversations about it later on. But in that moment, it was like, whoa. And, but also in that moment, because I was like really wide open, like my guard was down and I was wide open because I was like, holy smokes, like, you're real. Like, I wanted to start poking him, like, you're real? What? Um, and he said, "Oh my gosh, are you ever sad?" And he had tears in his eyes when he said that to me, and I was like, "I am," and I just burst into tears, of course, because I really was sad. And he just sat me down, and I experienced what you experienced the other day, and my code was called sad, and I was really sad. And within he did the work with me, which is now called the F.I.X code. At the time, there was no name for it. He hadn't named any of it. He was just doing this really cool thing. That's what it was called. And I opened my eyes as you did and looked at him, and then I shot my mouth off and I said, I don't know what you just did, but I'm gonna figure out what you just did, and I'm gonna teach the world how to do this because this is freaking awesome. and he was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, who are you? But again, it kind of ran with what this girl had told him, like, Stacey knows everybody. She's gonna put you in front of everybody. Like, so it was really fast because, again, as you experienced, it is excellence inside the technique as you are moving through your experience of this technique. You're in the presence of excellence because it's you. Like, you and your unconscious, like, I mean, it's all you, but you become really aware of what is going on, what is causing the problems. And this technique very beautifully and gracefully does what it needs to do with you when you follow the instructions, and you come back to now and it's gone. And it was revolutionary. And I also feel like I'd been waiting for it my whole life because it was so beautiful and so excellently quantum, but I could touch it. It was like I could touch it and experience this quantum experience. And it's not woohoo. I mean, I would not say it's woohoo at all. It is absolute quantum science. You do it, you get the same result every single time. It's gone every single time. So as Daniel and I kind of became friends, because of course I put my hand out right in that moment and went, yeah, hi, my name is Stacey, and do you have a business partner? And he was like, no, but you're kind of scaring me. And I was like, yeah, my name is Stacey, and yeah, we're doing this. This is incredible. So then I spent years putting him in front of call it, my Rolodex, my black book, and putting him in front of all of these people that loved me, that said, and I'm calling them saying, I want you to try this for me because I want to know if it's just me that thinks it's awesome and I'm like, it's placebo or whatever, and I just want this to work, or really just like, is this something big? Like, am I sitting here with something really big that I'm going to then share with the world? And every single person that loves me and is like a mentor or a guide or a parent, or thinks they're my parent, like all the people that have mentored me in my life, all the bossy pants in my life, all came back and said, this is incredible. Because either they had their wives try it or their children try it, and then they eventually tried it. And I just kind of moved him around the country. And he would fly places and help these families and help whatever he was doing. And they were calling me back saying, this is the real deal. Like, this guy's the real deal. And I'm like, right? Like, it's not just me wanting this to work. And they were all like, no, this is it. So then Danielle and I sat down and we made a plan. how are we going to deliver this to the world? What does this look like? What does this sound like? Like, and then because our spiritual stories that we're now connecting, it was almost like we were two pieces of a puzzle that came together. So like I was very me and he was very him, but then we came together and went, oh, now we get it. Like this is incredible because he's truly the creator and I'm the builder. Like when he talks, I listen and I ask these questions and we keep going deeper and deeper and he just keeps explaining more and more. And that's what I teach. So I did keep my promise. I did create an online training with everything that was in his head about how to do this. And I just kept teasing all of this information at him. And it took years. Like this was a 5-year process of me teasing the information out of him to be able to create this online training so that anybody in the world can learn how to do this from the online training. Um, and I had never done an online training. I had never like really opened up my computer outside of sending an email, which I really didn't do that either. If I wanted to talk to somebody, I just picked up the phone and talked to somebody. Um, so yeah, this whole learning curve of everything that I've had to learn to do this has been, sometimes harsh and sometimes like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I just don't know what I'm doing. And and yet I just keep going and the people around me obviously support me and help me and do all the stuff. Now they're doing all that stuff for me and I just get to do the fun parts like this. But yeah,
Yay.
it has been such a fun journey building this with Daniel and sharing Daniel with the world and sharing the technique with the world. And yeah, we've got people everywhere that are taking this online training and they get to meet us once a month. Like we have a training once a month that is theory in the morning and then practical all afternoon. So we're in there watching and helping and guiding, and so you really do get hands-on on top of everything else because you're also partnered up with your own coach. So it's just like a lot of fun and it was amazing building it, and the support system that we've created is really, really fun. But yeah, I just feel like I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I got the best job in the world talking about the F.I.X code. So yeah.
So the F.I.X code,
Mm,
how did Daniel come
figure it
to,
out.
yeah, how did it land with him? How did he
Yeah.
discover it? How did he
Th- This is a
invent?
great, yeah, it's a great story. He talks about how he remembered it. So he is our company's called Ancient Gene Technology. So like he's the ancient. Like so yeah. Um and and what how he describes it is that many before he got here, he created a program in himself that if anything bad ever happened, this program would click in. And that is exactly what happened. So his environment unfortunately created this horrible circumstance that then this thing clicked in and took over in like for a nanosecond, but we call it the blue light experience because he really had a phenomenal spiritual experience. So his background, he's a master hypnotherapist, master in NLP, and he's been doing this for 35 years now. Like he's, no dummy, that's for sure. But he needed the concrete stuff of where the world was to have like these kind of nuggets, of like, like what, because if he didn't know what he was getting once the blue light happened, he wouldn't know what he was like. It would just all be foreign. So, anyways, I guess he had studied intuitively, and under the masters and the creators of those modalities, like the NLP, he went right to the guys who developed it. Like this, he's old, so like a long, long time ago. Yeah, the beginning of NLP. Yeah. Um, and the person actually, this is a great little nugget of the little bit of the story that's really fun, is that back in the 80s, he's a salesman, was a salesman, and that's how he made a living. And he was an entrepreneur, owned pizza stores and video stores. So like, back in the 80s and 90s. And but he loved sales. He loved being in that world of like, how can I give more to the client or the customer, that kind of thing. And there was this guy who was coming to Toronto, which is like an hour away from where Daniel lived. And again, we're talking the 80s. And Daniel said he paid, I think, about $80 for the weekend, and there was about 80 people in the room, And it was this guy called Tony Robbins that nobody had heard of. Yeah, like nobody knew this guy. And, there was only 80 people in the room. So Daniel, being Daniel, is at the front of the classroom, like a nerd with his book just going crazy, like just soaking it all in from this guy called Tony Robbins. And on break, Tony Robbins came to Daniel and said, "Buddy, like you're all in, man. Like you're it. You love this stuff." And he's like, "I do. Like just tell me everything you've got." And Tony Robbins said to him, "If you really want to do this properly, you need to study NLP and you need to do hypnotherapy." So what did Daniel do? He worked his butt off to find enough money to take these courses from the guys that invented it. Like he went right to the source because he wasn't going to learn it from some practitioner. He wanted to go right to the source. So he did. So he went to Hawaii for I think a month or maybe even longer to study under those guys and for NLP and stuff. So like he was very dedicated way back in the 80s. So he comes with cred, like he's done his due diligence in the industry. So but if I bring us back now into like 2000 and maybe 2005, something like that, his whole life's falling apart. He doesn't know where to throw himself as a human being. He's just a man. And he doesn't know what to do next. So he's supposed to be at work, he's supposed to be running his companies, and he just wants to be in bed. Like he's doing the old, I'm pulling the covers over my head, I don't want to do anything. And supposedly he was doing that very successfully. He was not getting out of bed very successfully. He just didn't want to. And then something kind of told him to get up and go to the bathroom. So as he was walking towards the bathroom, he got when he went into the hallway, he explains it as he walked into like jello, like just this very thick, he couldn't move. Like it was like whoop, and everything went warpy. Like, and yet he said he felt like he could hear for miles, like a pin drop. It was so silent, but it was like in a warped space, like a jello. And he couldn't move. He realized he couldn't move. So he was in this spot. And then he heard a noise and it was like, bzzz, and he kind of looked up and there was a blue, like Stargate above his head, a circle, and it went like this. Bzzz, and it scanned him and then went through the floor. And now going into the hallway, he felt like crap. Like all of the horrible feelings were all over him. Like he couldn't shake them. And after this experience, and he doesn't know how long it took. He doesn't know if it took a nanosecond or like 5 hours. He has no idea how long it took. He basically was released from the jello, the hold, and he turned around, went into his room, got dressed, and got on with his day. Went grocery shopping, went to the stores, dropped off stuff. Like nothing had ever happened. Nothing bad had ever happened. And over time, he said it took about 3 months. And in that 3 months, he lost like 100 pounds, like just poof, gone. Like, yeah. So his body was now in harmony, which again, like if anybody wants to lose weight, the goal is to be in harmony with self, because then the weight just falls off. So he was in perfect harmony. Nothing was bothering him. And over the 3 months, he started to like ask Source questions, and then Source started to answer in very clear formats. So like now we call them downloads and lots of people are having them, but back then it was very rare in that, well, I'd never heard of anything like it. So he was starting to be downloaded in increments because the whole picture would have been too big. He wouldn't have, it was just too much. So he was being downloaded. Yeah, mind blowing. He was being downloaded the information in increments. And every increment he had to actually study. He had to learn everything that was being downloaded. Like he had to learn quantum physics in a real way. So when he sees people, even to this day, he can do it. He shuts it down so that he doesn't go crazy, but he can see what we call parasitic programs. When they're triggered, they wake up in in human beings, and they tax our nervous system. And then he can actually see the memories moving up into our thinking brain. And now we're in the loop. We call this the grand illusion, because now this is all fake. This is not really happening. We're making this up in our mind, but it's connected to all the stories in our lives that was triggered by the feeling of those memories. So we talked about this the other day, and I think you were kind of like, holy crap, this is true. And when I say it to people, especially in the industry, they're like, oh my gosh, that's right. How have we never looked at it like this? which is it's not the content or the memory that's the problem. It's how you feel about the memory that's the problem. And with the F.I.X code, we can actually disconnect, which again, you've experienced, and it's true, we can disconnect the feeling or the fear that you feel when you think of that feeling or when you think of that memory. But the cool part is that you feel that way about thousands and thousands of memories. So instead of dealing with each memory, which is traditional therapy, you're never going to get to the bottom of it and that's not the problem. The problem is how you feel about that memory. And so what we did, or what Daniel created, was this technique that disconnected from the unconscious mind and the physical body the problem, which was the feeling or the fear. That's it. And when we disconnect those from the unconscious mind, the way that he's created the technique, it works every single time. So it's like having, let's say it's like fear of failure. And if we look at our unconscious mind like a motherboard, right? And we're now just the really cool pink little Mac, the 2025 pink little Mac or 26 pink little Mac. But our motherboard is exactly the same. And it's been our motherboard. It's us, right? Our motherboard is us. Has been for every lifetime. And somewhere in there, fear of failure was dropped in like a Trojan, like a virus. Okay. So we're good, we're good, we're good. And now we hit this Trojan horse. It activates it. And now everything from that moment on is a mess. We just can't get out of it. Okay. Now, with the technique, we can go back to where this Trojan horse was dropped. So that when now the fear of failure, what used to trigger us into fear of failure, there's nothing there. It doesn't trigger anything off. So we just run through our motherboard like it's a fabulous day because those things aren't lit up in us. Because this technique actually removes those horrible feelings and fears every single time. Been doing it for 15 years. Train people all over the world to do this. They will attest to how amazing and how quick it works. Yeah.
And it does it without reliving any trauma, which I know
Absolutely not.
puts so many people off doing the inner work. They're like, I don't want to go into that trauma. I'm shut off. I've blocked it out. I've built the brick wall. We're not going there. This does not
It doesn't.
evoke
No.
anything like that.
No.
So it's very, very safe. So I got the experience of going through this process with you, Stacey. And one of
Yeah.
the things we went through too, because we had beautiful time, and one of them was guilt. That was the second one.
Yes.
And it just sort of came
Yes.
out. It wasn't even the first thing I pulled out. The first thing was fear of rejection, which
Yep.
is very common for women, especially my age
Oh.
in the world I'm living in.
So,
People. But the second one, as we were chatting, we're like, a second one sort of popped up and we're like, let's get into it because why not? I'm always there I love jumping into things when I'm just like, okay, the moment's calling, let's go. So guilt
yeah.
came up and we went through the process and like all things the universe brings to us that day, it was like, let's test this out if it worked.
Of
And I had
course.
this
Yeah.
situation come up and I was just sitting back going, wow, that was quick, guys. Like
Yeah.
literally, I think about 4 hours, 3 hours after we spoke, it was
Yeah.
like, let's test it out. Let's see how that process actually went for you. And I love that because my human brain would have thought that at some point anyway.
Right.
As open as I am to modalities, to the work, there's always a stage where the human brain kicks in and goes, but did it really?
Did it. I know. And you have to know, I do that all the time. I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah. I know you just because Daniel's the only one that does work with me. And so, I'll walk away sometimes going, yeah, that didn't like whatever. That is never gonna work. Well, it works every time. So like I'm 15 years into knowing this works. I teach that it works. Everybody around me says it works. And there's still that human mind that goes, but did it? And it works every single time.
every single time. So it came
Yeah.
up, obviously. So this situation that would have normally in the
Yeah.
past have thrown me in the absolute spiral of the guilt shaming, and I would have
Mhm.
been a mess. I would have been sitting in my bed because that's my safe space. I would have been bawling
Mhm.
my eyes out. My nervous
Mhm.
system would have been an absolute wreck. I would have peaked
Mhm.
out, and I didn't. I could see it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
so happy for you. Yeah.
I'm like, I could see it for what it was. I'm like, none of that rushing into that guilt
Mhm.
attachment was even
Mhm.
there. Some other things popped up for me, and I'm like, okay, I can see that. Without that rushing in, though, I could actually see those things clearer as well. So it was almost
Yeah.
like the ripple on effect from that.
Yeah.
And I could just be like, okay, well, that's cool. This is not my situation to attach to. I don't
Yeah.
need to have any feelings about this. I'm just going to let it play out for the other people involved, and we'll just see what happens. And
Yeah.
I have to say, Stacey, that was massive for me because normally, especially as a reformed people pleaser, I'm like, I've got to fix the situation. I've got to take on all of the emotional burden. I've got to make sure
Yeah.
everyone else is feeling fine, which all
Mhm.
conglomerates into this massive cluster of
Mhm.
rubbish.
Yep. Yep.
And I was so grateful that we'd had that session in the
That's so
morning.
great.
It really
That's so great.
it opened my eyes, and I'm like, I felt clarity over
Yeah.
the actual reality,
Yeah.
not the imposed um, holograms that were playing off.
Yeah.
So that was very cool. I'm like, oh, very interesting that we had such a quick validation of the process.
I
Um,
love it.
and the process, like, it was just a sprinkle of magic. I know we can't get into
Yeah.
too much of the details of what we did, because you have to experience it for yourself. But it was an
Yeah.
absolute sprinkle of magic. It was easy. There was nothing hard about it. It was very quick. Our first process we went through was 5 minutes. Like, that was it. I thought we were going to be done in 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, right, wow. Whew. And like I said earlier, like, I went from being a low vibe, like, oh, and click of the fingers, whoa, like my face changed, my energy changed, my
Yeah.
perception of, I don't want to say life, but my perception of
Oh, yeah.
where I was at that point,
Mhm.
it was different. Um, and it was just amazing that we don't need to go into those narratives, the stories. There's no
Yeah. No.
stories. I told you nothing about me. We
No.
just went in completely straight into it, and there was no reliving of any moments, trauma,
No.
feelings, emotions, nothing going through it. And
No.
when you were sharing your story about having a situation that changed your
My
life,
life.
so
One night
many,
changed my life. Yeah.
so many women, it just like landed in my heart. So many women have a situation like that,
Yeah.
and they don't speak up, and they don't talk about it, and they don't, for
They
whatever
suffer in silence. Yeah.
they
They suffer in silence. Yeah.
and that is
And
and that's almost like the way when you were describing the workplace, when things were going on, it's just like, come on, we just keep going.
yep.
It,
Suck it up,
it's
cupcake.
it's
Yeah.
life. We're just doing this thing life, and you're going to suck it up, and bad things are going to happen. So just expect it to, and you
Yeah.
don't get to have a voice or validate anything.
Yeah.
And it just really hit me that there are so many of us suffering in
Hmm.
silence for a multitude of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. And
You,
I'm here to say, please, to anybody out there that is going through that. Yeah, I mean anything else too. But if you are suffering in silence, I am asking you, please click the button. Daniel has offered, who is the creator and founder of this, like my business partner, has offered for the 2026 period that he is actually going to be doing the complimentary sessions, which has never happened. It that is incredible. But yes, you can also you can go to Daniel and have a complimentary session, which is going to be in in the bio links or wherever you put them. But please, let him know that this is what you want to work on. This is, and you don't need to tell him anything about what's going on. But you can be very open when he says to you, when he asks you the magic question. Here's the magic question I'm going to ask you now so that you're prepared and you don't feel caught off guard. Here's the magic question. Biggest problem you have in your life right now, when you think about it, you don't need to tell me what it is, but when you think about it, how does it make you feel? If you could put it in 1 or 2 words, what would it be? Whatever you say is what the work that Daniel will do with you. And he is it, like he's the guy. But you can also go to our website and go through and book complimentary sessions with all of our practitioners. So if you have questions about the course, or I mean, you can ask Daniel that too. I mean, he obviously knows the course. Um, but you can get testimonials from other people. You can try this with other people too. It's complimentary. That is part of our giving back. It's part of our philanthropy program at our company, which is we are given so much by the F.I.X code, whether it, clarity, calmness, peace, family, relationships, all of these amazing things because of the F.I.X code, that we actually have a very large philanthropy program where our practitioners donate their time to help people and showcase this technique to help people with whatever's going on. So
That's such a beautiful gift. It's
yeah,
such
well,
a beautiful
so's the
gift.
F.I.X code. Like
Yeah.
we all feel like the F.I.X code is the biggest gift we've ever been given, and it's we used to call, Daniel and I used to call this, many, like almost 10 years ago, it is like the mind, it is the, oh, what did we say? It's like we don't leave a footprint. It's oh, I'll find the word. They'll come to me. But it's like the um like we don't leave a footprint. Like you
Mm,
wouldn't even know we were there.
mm,
People forget we ever did the work with you, because you forget you felt guilty. You forget that you had that fear of rejection. So if I actually put this into a dynamic, you had mentioned about a minute and a half ago that when you came into our session, you were a little bit flat. You were kind of like, trying to figure this out and whatever. You were just like a little flat. Now, because of the fear of being rejected, right? The fear of rejection, you, without knowing it, were already rejecting me,
mm,
because that meant I couldn't reject you. So
mhm,
it's a dynamic. It's an energy dynamic. So even though I didn't feel that, because I don't have the fear of being rejected or that's all gone from me. I mean, had I met you 15 years ago, I probably would have felt it, but I don't feel that anymore. So you felt it coming in because you were already blocking me,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
Which is just the dynamic of the fear of being rejected. I'm going to reject you before you reject me. Like that's just simple math. It happens to every single person that has the fear of rejection. So the moment we got that fear of rejection gone, you lit up because you
Yeah.
weren't afraid of me rejecting you at all. And you had mentioned like there are other things that in your life that you feel like you were blocking because you were doing it first to them, or which again, every single person out there that has the fear of rejection is doing the exact same thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It's the
You feel
same in
like
every person. Yeah.
you can highlight all these areas, like just like,
It
oh,
is.
it was spread out everywhere like a
It
weed.
was.
Yeah.
And it's funny. We call it personalities of parasitic programs because that's like these horrible feelings and fears. Each single one of them has their own personality, and they usually have 3 or 4 personality traits, and they're the same in every single person. So if somebody feels angry, the personality traits of anger in a human being are you run out of time, you can't think, and you feel overwhelmed when you're angry. But you would never say I'm angry. And most women actually don't. We don't say that. But I would say I was overwhelmed. I absolutely say I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I can't think. Like I had all the symptoms. And Daniel would say to me, "So, is there anything in your past that you can think about when you think about it makes you feel angry?" And I'm like, I'm much too much of a lady to ever be angry, right? So I couldn't like get there. And then all of a sudden one day I called him. I'm like, I am so freaking angry. I can't. And he's like, oh, she's finally there. And we did angry, and it changed my life. I Because I was running a gymnastics club, single mom, like sat on different boards, and I was busy and huge responsibilities. And when so I was overwhelmed. I couldn't think. I like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And I ran out of time all the time. I never had enough time in the day. So I remember it was like a Monday morning, and I remember calling Daniel going, I am so freaking mad. Like, I'm so freaking angry. And he's like, let's do it. So he did the work with me. Again, 5 minutes. My accountant in 30 days, because I had a meeting with him every 30 days, he said to me, you have like thousands of extra dollars in your bank account. And again, I was like running business pretty smooth every week, every month. And he's like, something's changed. Like, what did you not pay? Like, have you not paid something? I'm like, you pay everything. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't do it. I don't do that stuff. He's like, are you not like, were you closed for a week? Did you not have to pay labor or something? I'm like, no, everything was the same. Here's why. When I was overwhelmed and couldn't think and running around like a chicken with my head cut off, I was burning gasoline, right? I was all over the place. So just on my gas bill, I had saved $600 just on my gas bill because I wasn't running and running and running and running. I would sit down, make a plan, I would go and do it and come back. So I would go through my little town and pick everything up that I needed in a little circle, drop everything off at the gym, and then go pick my son up and come back to the gym. It was just like, whoo, everything was easy. I had all the time in the world. I had so much clarity of how to now run things where I was doing everything. I was cleaning the toilets. I was cleaning the outside. I was doing all this. Meanwhile, I'm paying my coaches a ton of money to stand around and have a snack with the kids. Yeah, how about I have snack with the kids and you guys go, you outside, you do that. And all of a sudden, everything started to get done because I had clarity. I wasn't overwhelmed. And even my son, who was like, 6 at the time, he's like, Mommy, it's like you've just calmed down. I'm like, right? I feel like not crazy, not like running around. Yeah. So that was definitely one of my favorites. And
Awesome.
it
Yeah.
kept thousands of dollars in my bank because I
Oh,
also wasn't like grabbing a t-shirt or grabbing this because I needed it, or which I never even wore. It always stayed in the back of the trunk or whatever it was. But like I was constantly flying. So I was making these snap decisions of just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna need it one day. Yeah, and just kind of grabbing stuff. And I was blowing through money like crazy, but not even noticing. So my
no.
accountant in 1 month was like, whoa, and I tripled my revenue because I had everything now done in the morning, and now I had nothing to do all afternoon. So normally I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off all afternoon, so I couldn't run programming. Well, no, I wasn't because I had it all done in the morning, 1 day a week, not 5 days a week. I did it all in 1 day a week. And now I opened up my entire gym every afternoon from 1 to 3. And then, because I still wasn't running around, I then opened up an after school program where the children could be dropped off by the bus and come in and do their homework and have a snack and then start gymnastics at 4. So, like, I could think. So, not
Wow.
only did I save tons of money from not running around and just grabbing stuff,
Mhm.
I had clarity to be able to triple my business because I was
Wow.
calm. I was totally relaxed, totally calm, and I'd never been busier.
Wow.
It is
That's
truly
not
one
a
of my favorites.
testimonial or what? That is incredible. Like
Yeah,
the ongoing knock-on effects of
it's
dealing
amazing.
with it.
And
What are
you're going to find that the knock-on effects of not feeling guilty
yeah,
are it's just a gift that keeps on giving. And that is the F.I.X code. It literally just keeps on giving.
yeah.
Back to
In
you.
the
Like,
past 3 or 4 days, I feel the shift. I feel the shift. So I'm really excited.
awesome.
I'm really excited about what is to come with that. What are the other words? What are the other most common root causes that you find coming
Yeah,
through?
so I feel like there's kind of like some basic ones that everybody's got. Sad. And they come in different orders, right? Like yours was guilt, mine was sad. But I did have guilt not far after my sad, but and you'll have sad eventually too. Then you can text me anytime you want and we can do it. Which is my offer to all of the podcasters that are sharing their platforms with me. You always get to email me and have a free session. So just so you know. Oh yeah, that's
That's
my
so
gift.
kind. That is
Yeah,
so kind.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you
Wow.
are providing me a platform that I couldn't create on my own. So I really am really grateful, really. So
Wow.
you absolutely,
Such a
you and
gift
your
back
family.
to the world.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I would say like guilt is a big one, sad
mm,
is a big one, betrayed is a big one, hurt,
mm,
um, embarrassed is a massive one.
mhm,
Yeah. Um, and then there's like the fears, like the fear of failure, the fear of embarrassment, the fear of being betrayed, the fear of being hurt. I have found over the years that like the code pain, like people that are actually feeling pain, when we disconnect the root cause of pain, their pain disappears. Yeah, like we've had people with like teeth issues, eye issue, like just issues, like big pain issues. And yeah, it's pretty quick. It just kind of disappears. Yeah, yeah, so
oh,
that's been interesting. Um, but
and
it
like you
real
said, weight
oh,
as well. Weight falls off people because your body is coming into harmony. It's in alignment.
harmony.
So it's
Absolutely.
not having it hide or weigh itself down or like have the fear be hidden through.
That's right. And I mean, for those of you that go back all the way back to like Louise Hay days, she does all of the connection of the body parts to emotions, and she's pretty bang on. Because that is where a lot of what our work, even though we don't do physical symptoms, but these things are lodged and wrapped around our nervous system. So they're causing physical problems. Like all of them are. So, but what we find is that, when you clear anger, your lungs are released. And there's a lot of sometimes grief in the lungs too. So, and support, if you lack of support, not feeling supported, fear that your world is falling apart, whatever the feelings are, those are all your hip issues. Those are all your stability, your ankles and your knees, that fear of stepping forward, your feet and your knees, like not going to happen. All your throat issues and all of that kind of stuff is that fear of speaking, that fear of not being able, the gut, that solar plexus, that fear of stepping into the world of who you're supposed to be and who you're meant to be, but you're too afraid to step into it. Like I can go on and on all day. So
Mm.
the fear of what you're seeing, the fear of stepping into like your future, that kind of thing, making pictures of the future going wrong. Not connected, this is a big one, that feeling not connected, and it's the feeling not connected to source, because once we're back in alignment with source, everything is possible again.
Mm.
It's when, and unfortunately our world has been designed over the last couple thousands of years with the grid, and I don't know where your audience goes in all these wormholes, but or rabbit
Go
holes or
there,
whatever the
go down
yeah.
there.
Okay. So yeah, so we know that the grid has been messed with for a very long time. We know that the matrix design is designed to it for me, the matrix looks like one of those invisible dog collar things where it's like you're going, and then you just get zapped. And it's like, what just happened? Because the grid is designed to make sure you don't succeed. Like that's literally its design. They want to keep you in a maze, running around, not going anywhere, just going to
Being
work,
still,
making
not
them money.
doing
Like,
anything. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
So this technique actually removes you from the maze. You start to disconnect from the matrix very quickly because you're not engaging in the frequencies that were designed by, I call them
Mm,
the bad guys. Like
mm,
they if you are disconnected from distraction, and you no longer connected to distortion, that's a good start to get out of the to be disconnecting from the matrix. So I actually have courses on all this fun stuff. There's lots of really fun courses to take. If you don't want to take the big training and learn how to do this, I have a ton of fun, really vulnerable, raw courses that I've designed. And I'm raw. Like as I'm teaching it, I'm raw. I'm in it. I'm going through it, and it was a big part of actually my healing journey through all my crap, where I just had enough people around me that were saying, please share this. Like, don't keep this quiet. Like, you have so much to share. And I'm like, I look like a lunatic. Like, I'm raw. I'm in it now. And they all loved it. But again, it was very counterintuitive to me because I'm one that says, shut it down, like pull it together, So they asked me to do it, and I did it. So I've got a ton of really, really amazing courses that will move you through some big stuff. And the goal of the courses is that you back it up with a practitioner. So you do the courses on your own and privately and do all of that. But the codes and everything that are designed to move you through, whether that's moving through the, like, being able to walk over the bridge to your authentic self. Like, there is a process. You have to go through like a new birth. You've got to let it all go that's over here, then to be able to walk over that bridge. So I've got a whole course on how to do that. And again, it's doing the work that you and I did. It's not like, it's not gut wrenching. It's like, just watch the videos and then we do the work. Like, call your person and do the work. It's that easy. Um, so yeah, just
Why
love.
wouldn't you want to do that?
Exactly.
Why do we want to stay in that safe, what we deem as a safe comfort zone,
Hmm.
when we are being destroyed alive by these feelings and these programmings that we ignore are running? And it's so simple, it's so easy, it's so quick to do
Hmm.
the work
Yeah.
to be a new person. And there's that whole argument about it's scary to be a new person. It's scary to stay where we are. It's scary to, and when you get to that point where it's scary to stay where you are, then take the
I know.
leap. Click the
And I
link.
think, yeah, thank you. And I think most of the world is there now. Like, a very large portion of the world is like, I got to get out of here. Like, I'm not doing this way anymore. And that's what I am hoping, that, the more I share, the more people can feel that it really is a click of a link. Like, and again, you don't have to learn how to do this. You can take other courses and just participate in your healing versus, learning how to do it. So we've got something for everybody. And they're fun. Like, everything that we do is fun. Like,
Yeah,
everything.
like I
Yeah.
said, it was a sprinkle of magic. Who doesn't need more magic in their life? It was
Yeah.
so enlivening.
I love it.
It really was. And even as you were just speaking then about waking up from the matrix, I just got
Mhm.
this warmth of wave of energy go through one ear, through my head, and out the other
Nice.
side. And I'm like,
Nice.
whoa, someone needed
Yes.
to hear that today. Someone
Love
needed
it.
to hear that. So
Yeah.
that is fantastic. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Stacey, this is so exciting. I love that you and
I'm
Daniel
glad.
brought this to the world for
Thank
everyone
you.
to experience, and in such a very human way. It's simple, it's
Thank you.
easy, it's the path of least resistance.
It
We
is.
can go there. We can go there and feel empowered,
Oh yeah.
absolutely shifting, living that
Yeah.
life that we desire, that we dream of. There, we can do that. And having experienced this process, I'm like, yeah, this gets people there.
Yeah.
Like, it gets people there.
It is. Yeah.
So people going, I don't know where to start. Like, literally, click the link Stacey is talking
Yeah.
about. Have a look at the website. See what is calling you. Like, feel into what
Yeah.
is right.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I have some Empress questions for you. As you know, Embody
Sure.
Your Empress, it's all about lifting everyone up.
Yeah.
And I would love to know, how do you embody your Empress?
Ooh. I think by being authentic.
Mhm.
Um, like, not trying to be anything that I'm not. I mean, I did all that. Don't get me wrong, I've done all of that. I have put the masks on. I've been all sorts of different versions of what some other people wanted me to be, all of those things. And I think part of my journey with this was like just taking all that down and really being true to myself for the really the first time ever. Even though I had a great life, I had all sorts of wonderfulness in my life, but yeah, taking the masks off and really saying, like, that's not me. That makes me anxious. Like, it doesn't feel like me. I feel like I'm faking it, or I feel like I have to force or try. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to be me. And being me is enough now. Like, I'm there. I mean, it took me a while. That's a process that I actually am. I'm enough. Just like this, me being a goof, I'm enough. And it also
And how
helped
much
having a
easier is life when we're just ourselves? Life is so much easier, and we just get to be.
true. But it's
Yeah.
hard to, it's not easy to get to. Like, this has been a massive part of my journey, was to unprogram everything that, call it Gen X, and programmed me for. A certain look, a certain way of speaking, a certain protocol, a certain whatever. Like, you perform, you do all these things when you're in public, and you can fall apart alone on your own time when nobody's looking. Like, just all sorts of amazing things when you make the promise to yourself to be true to myself and also live in my power. Like not hand it over because I did. You were talking about people pleaser. Yeah, Academy Award right here. So yeah, um, and that's part of the programming, and to keep the peace. And I love peace, so I really did a lot to keep the peace, and did a lot of adjusting and took crap just to keep peace. And I don't feel powerless anymore because I don't hand it over the way that I used to. And that was a learning. That was learning. It also was a code. I felt powerless. And then it was the fear of causing disharmony or the fear of somebody being upset with me, right? Like that was a massive driver in my life of that fear. And they could control me if they knew that that was the thing. That's how people controlled me. Was all they had to do was balk or give a little bit of, I'm not pleased with that, or like it was a look, of just like, really, you're gonna wear that outfit tonight? I'm like, oh no, and I'm off to change. Like
Mm,
just that displeasing, or they weren't happy with me, or just they were a little bit upset with me, would wreck me. So
mm.
like I've had my own crap to work through. Absolutely. Like I did not get out of this scot free. I had to like definitely do my own inner work. So um I can actually help people get there way faster than I got there because I now know the route. I know, like I've cut the brush. I felt like the pioneer in the Amazon with a little knife, a little butter knife, going, "Come on, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this." And now I feel like the trail has been blazed, and I can be like, like if that's something that you want,
Yeah,
I can get you there. Like I know the way out. Follow me, kind of thing. Yeah,
that is the beautiful thing about someone in your position when you've done it yourself. You know,
yeah.
you
Oh, I
know,
did the work.
like to authentically get people there. And that's the exciting thing. Like that
Yeah.
really resonates with people. I love it.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, next
Thank you.
Empress question.
Yep.
What does your Empress energy feel like for you?
It feels like bubbles. Um, yeah, like, I mean, I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 30 years or more than that now, 35 years probably. I'm giving my age away, but yeah, very long time. But it feels like pink champagne bubbles, like, and when my son I mean, he was little. He used to say, "Mommy, it's like all your cells have happy faces." It's like, "Boop, boop, 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 boop." Yeah, like happy face emojis. It's just like, boop, 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 but very bubbly. Yeah. And then that's one side of me. Like I have that kind of bubbly champagne feel to me. Like it's like that. But then in my quiet space, because I have a lot of quiet also to me, I feel like a Buddha baby. Like just like I'm happy. Like I'm very at peace in my own space, my own mind. And I worked my ass off to get that. Like, and I was like that as a child. And then, of course, life, kicked crap out of me. But even my parents would call me Buddha baby because I was just always very Zen. Like, I always saw the good. I always wanted everybody happy and peaceful and beautiful, you know? Um, but yeah,
Love
so
it.
those are my two sides, like
I love
bubbly
that.
and then very Buddha baby. Yeah.
Fantastic. I love that. That's actually the first response I've got where someone's acknowledged the duality. And I'm
Ah,
always all about the duality in life because we need the contrast, and it's such a human experience. I love that.
it is. I
Beautiful.
can't have the bubbles without the Buddha, and I can't have the Buddha without the bubbles. Like it's just,
Oh,
it is me. Like I
mhm.
am both. Yeah.
Oh, that's such a great visualization.
Thanks. Thanks.
Oh, and Stacey, what are your parting words of wisdom for inspiring your nation?
No pressure on this one. Oh my gosh.
Boo boo.
Yeah. It's like be kind to yourself. Like you are good enough. Now, again, I get you don't feel that way because the parasitic program is telling you over and over and over again, you're not good enough. You're not enough. You're lesser than. Like you're a piece of crap. Whatever the stories in your head are telling you. And I'm saying it's just a thing that we call a parasitic program. And it's a click of a button and you can kill it. And you can never feel and you will never feel that way again. And I think it's that, like, be kind to yourself and allow yourself to click the button. Like, to be okay getting support from a total stranger, and I can promise you, within 5 minutes, these girls are not gonna feel like strangers to you. Like, these amazing, amazing women, like you and I, we were strangers, and then we weren't, right? Like, we were laughing and giggling like we were friends forever. That's kinda who we are, and the first thing is being kind to yourself, that it's okay to click a button and ask for help, or get help, or receive help, or,
Mm.
um, because if I didn't receive help that day 15 years ago, say almost 16 years ago now, none of this would exist.
Mm.
And I couldn't imagine my life without the Fix Code. I just couldn't imagine, or the people in it. I just couldn't imagine. So I I am excited in my bubble, champagne bubbles, to meet more people, to be able to support more people, to find their peace and to find clarity, to be able to live the life they want, not the
Mm.
one that's kicking the shit out of them because of these stupid things. Because they're stupid. They're not smart things. They're just stupid. They're parasitic programs that are
Yeah.
attached to our memories. That's it.
You get to live the life you want. You get to live the life you want.
Yes.
You get to say, yes,
Yes.
it's me. It's my turn now. I'm living the life I want.
That's
And
right.
it can be as easy as reaching out saying, yeah, help me, Stacey. Thank you.
Yeah. And we're here. So it's really, I would love for the world to be kinder to themselves and to each other. Like, that is my absolute wish. And that all of these things are gone from our bodies and the
Kindness goes
planet.
so far because we get in this tunnel vision of all this crap is happening to me.
Hmm.
Crap is happening to every person out there. Every
Every single
interaction,
person.
every person at the supermarket, at the petrol station,
Yep.
at school pickup.
Yep.
Crap's happening to everyone. And we get
Hmm.
so tunnel visioned. It's only me, and we get all judgy and throw out all the things to everyone else. And
Hmm.
yet, when you come from a place of kindness, okay, I'm going through some stuff, and so are they, and so are they, and so are they, and so are they.
Yep. Yep.
It changes.
And yeah, absolutely. And then when you find the community, but it's hard to ask for help or click a button when you're not being kind to yourself, because you're coming down on yourself. You're being hard on yourself. You're saying, like, you're stronger than this. Get over it. Like, or if only they would walk off a cliff, then my life would be great. Or only if this person would go away. You know what I mean? Or move a country or whatever it is. We keep
I know what
creating
you mean. I've had those thoughts.
all that stuff. So is everybody. But it with this technique, as you experienced, your reaction to the same event that you've probably been going through for a very long time, you had a very different response for the first time ever. Now, whoever was in the room with you as you were not reacting the way you always did, you left them very confused.
Mm,
Because they were like, she didn't say her lines. She
mhm,
didn't, we didn't get into the chaos that we normally do. Okay, why isn't she crying? Like, what is happening? And so the people in the room are very confused. Now, the cool part is they're going to try again, and you're going to show them again, because you're not even going to notice. They're going to be pulling crap all over the place. So to all of your listeners, imagine all that crap you go through trying to contain your emotions and your mouth and your facial expressions, and or your fists, whatever it is, um, in those moments, to imagine going to not feeling it at all, to just
mm,
watching the kind of weirdness that's happening in the room, going, wow, like, these guys are just losing their minds. Like, okay, well, whatever. I
yeah,
got 10 more minutes with these people. I'm going to go now. Like, it's a brand new world when you have this work done.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. I love it. Stacey, where is the best place for people to reach out to you? Is it clicking the links through the description? Is it on social media?
Yes, please. Yeah, we're all over social media, so I'll give you all of those too that you can follow. And it's thefixcode.com. And you can click when you arrive there, you're going to click. We're going to send you over to Daniel, and then you can also then, after that, you can go and find the girls, the women that are kind of in our community that are donating their time that week, because it changes all the time. And then we also too, we have all of the other courses that people can take on their own and back it up with a practitioner that resonates with them. The whole goal is that you can try different practitioners. Once you've purchased the course, you can try different practitioners to then align with somebody that you like, and then you purchase their package or whatever for that course. They're all trained. So again, it's like you get to have the experience you want while having a ton of fun. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining us today, Stacey. It
Thank you.
is like even our conversation, it's like a sprinkle of magic. I love it. I love what we've talked about. And I know that someone just had to hear that message that you were sending through.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for your time today and
You're
such
welcome.
generosity with bringing this magic to the world.
Thank you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's people like you that are allowing me to do this. So thank you.
Oh, beautiful.